Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Chit Chat with Nat. Now, I know this episode is super late, but my schedule was so busy, so I would like to thank you guys for your patience. Nevertheless, here we are. All right, now today's episode is one of my favorite episodes. It's all about skincare. Now, we have asked you guys to submit your skincare questions, and I got an overwhelming response. So thank you guys for that. So based on the amount of questions that I've received, I've decided that today's episode will be about acne. Now I will be answering a question unrelated to acne submitted by a very special person, Miss Paulette. So thank you, Miss Paulette, for your question. Shout out to you, Miss Paulette. I will answer your question towards the end of the podcast. Now, what really is acne? Acne is a skin condition that occurs when the hair follicles become clogged with oils, dead skin cells, and when the pores become clogged, you produce whiteheads, blackheads, and pimples. Okay, now acne can be divided into two categories: inflammatory and non-inflammatory. So I'm not going to bore you guys with all the medical terminologies and stuff like that. Acne is pretty extensive, so I will definitely be doing this podcast in two episodes. Part one, today we're doing. Now, there are some triggers for acne or acne flare ups. Some of the causes can be dirt, bacteria, stress, excess sebum, diet, climate. Not all acne is treated the same. Skin type plays a role. It's different for everyone, I always say. The culprit of acne is the overactivity of the sebaceous glands. Now, the sebaceous glands are oil glands. Excess sebum is due to genetics, hormonal, possibly environmental, or in, let's say, external factors. Although the cheeks are often affected by acne, the T-zone, especially the nose, has the highest number of sebaceous glands on the face, so therefore it's the most common spots for breakouts, believe it or not. There's different types of acne. You get acne on the face, on the butt, on the back, okay? So we will be dealing that in part two of the episode. Now, skincare is all about prevention. Those who say they don't have time to take care of their skin will sooner or later have to find time for corrective treatments. Now, the best way to take care of your skin is to prevent problems before they start. Take my advice, guys, prevent it before it starts. Healthy skin is not an overnight process. That's something you need to know. And you need to invest in your skin. It's going to represent you for a very long time. Now, beautiful skin requires commitment. I always tell my clients that. So let's get into some of the questions that you guys sent. They're pretty good questions, questions that I'm often asked by my clients as well. So I have a question here is why is my acne worse during my period? Now, before the onset of your cycle, your hormones reach their lowest levels, right? And the level of testosterone is fairly constant. So when you're on your cycle, it's a little bit higher, and this can cause you to get breakouts. I have another question here. Can I wear foundation if I have acne? If I can, what should I look for? All right, so the products you should look for, it should be labeled as non-comedogenic. Make sure it's light, mattifying formulas, opting for a mineral based or any foundation that has zinc, maybe titanium. These can help to absorb excess oil. So light mattifying formulas, that's a must. Oil free as well. Now, I have another question here. How can I prevent my pores from clogging? Now, I'm asked this constantly. Ensuring that you're cleansing properly can help to prevent congestion from forming on the face. So, cleanse in the evening, cleanse in the morning, to remove any sweat or buildup from during the day, makeup, and also exfoliate the skin once a week. Now, another question here. Why am I breaking out during menopause? Now, I chose to add this question because it's not one that's really talked about, so I decided to add it. Now, acne breakouts can occur as one approaches menopause due to hormonal fluctuations, right? So the falling levels of estrogen can lead to breakouts. Now, someone asked me, what are the best products for acne? All right, so I would recommend that you speak to a professional, have a consultation done, and then we would be able to recommend what's best for your skin, also what's course of action to take for you. Right? So some products that I can recommend or professionals would recommend, but they'll have to know the percentage based on the type of acne and the severity if it's level 1 to 4. So you guys can try different gel, celiac acid, tretinoin. They have an over the counter version to it now. So those are some that you can try. But like I said, get professional help before, and then we would be able to know how much and what percentage. Okay. Now someone asked me here, why are my pimples so painful? All right. So the reason why I chuckled a little bit is because all pimples, once they have hormonal changes going on with the body, you're going to get painful pimples. Okay. Now, painful hormonal pimples occur when there is a fall of testosterone. Okay. Testosterone can be influenced by the hormonal fluctuations, right? During the menstrual cycle, also stress. So when this occurs, then the pimple becomes painful. So stress plays an integral role in acne. So try to keep calm. Also, we have I was telling one of my clients the other day, she told me that one thing that all my clients, all my acne clients always tell me that when they're out in the street, people would come up to them and say, "Why don't you try this?" or "Why don't you try that?" Please don't do so. What may work for someone may not necessarily work for you, okay? So don't fall for the hype on TikTok for all these products because you don't know the ingredients. Like I said, seek a professional. We would be able to better recommend what's best for you. Another thing I would recommend is to get facials done. Not because I'm an esthetician, but because I know how effective facials can be. We have different equipment, we use spa grade products, and especially at my spa, we have access to a number of machines and stuff that I use. So if you guys are interested and you have acne, I promise you help is there. We're here to help you. You can make an appointment with us. You can message us on Instagram at FaceQueenGY. We have our WhatsApp on 652-7811. Help is there. Now, I wanted to touch on a topic as well. A client told me that every time she goes out on the road, it's damaging for her self-esteem because people would come up to her and they would say, "Why don't you try this?" or "Why don't you try that?" One most recently, a client told me was someone came up to her and told her, "Why don't you use Derm on the skin?" Now, Derm, guys, please don't use that. That is an antifungal cream. It's not meant for acne. It's not meant for hyperpigmentation. It's actually going to thin out the skin and do you more harm than good. So don't fall for the hype on the TikToks and all the social media platforms. Don't use anything unless recommended by a professional. All right. Now, like I said, acne is super extensive, so we will be doing this in two parts. So acne can appear on the back, the butt, the cheeks, the shoulders, the chest, basically anywhere because the skin is the largest organ on the body. So we will be doing part two on acne on the skin and on the chest, butt, arms, etc. Now, I would recommend that you guys have a well balanced diet. Stay away from fried foods, processed foods, and dairy. Now, like I said, everything in moderation. You don't have to quit cold turkey. Baby steps. Also, I would recommend that if you have acne, that you consume a lot of green leafy vegetables, legumes, you use some salmon, omega-3. Although I had a client that her acne was triggered by omega-3, so be very careful about what you consume. Try it out first on, let's say, a smaller scale, and then you're gonna know, okay, well, this works for me, this doesn't work for me. All right. So like I said, you can visit us here at Face Queen Spa, 41 Duncan Street, Bel Air Park. When you come, we will have a consultation done. We determine the type of acne that you have, and we work with a plan that's best for you. So I work with you to get you into your best skin. So let's start your skincare journey. Help is just a call away. Now, I also received a question from Miss Paulette. So, Miss Paulette, your question is, after you tweeze the hair from the chin, you're left with some pigmentation. Now, my recommendation for you is, first, have you ever considered laser hair removal? When you do laser hair removal, then the hair just dies and stop growing back, as opposed to tweezing where you would leave like the pore open and then it can get bacteria which can lead to pigmentation and also pimples. But if you don't want to do laser hair removal, then I would recommend that you use a cream that has glycolic acid inside, or maybe a serum kojic acid. Now, if you're going to use these products, I would recommend that you use sunscreen. Now, you cleanse the area, you tone, and you apply these stuff. And if you're going to go outdoors, your sunscreen. All right, so that's going to help you with the pigmentation. But I always offer laser hair removal because the number of sessions is actually based on the coarseness of hair. So it depends on how coarse your hair grow. Then we would be able to determine how many sessions are required. But if you don't want to do so, which is fine, then you can try these little tips that I recommended for you. Also vitamin C as well. So if you use vitamin C as well, that can help with the pigmentation on the chin. So thank you guys so much for your questions. I got like about 40 questions. I'm sorry I couldn't answer all of it, but I will answer some more in part two. We'll go into acne in depth on the body and stuff like that in part two. This episode was a solo episode, and if you guys do hear some songs in the background, like I said, I'm filming from home. If you hear my puppies, I apologize. So, yeah. All right. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you learned a little bit. For all my clients that submitted questions and for all you guys who submitted your questions, thank you so much for that. All right. Now, oh, I have one more here that I'm going to close off with. This one actually brought a smile to my face. It's from a very good client. It says here, "Hi, Natalia. You've been treating my face for over a year, and I would just like to say I'm so happy with my skin. My face is so clear. I've been suffering with acne for my whole life, and I would just like to say thank you so much for your miracle hands." Thank you so much, Amy. I really appreciate it. And then she says here, "I have a quick question. Can you tell me if I have chocolate, if my face is going to break out?" All right. So I would recommend to my clients that you not consume a lot of sweet, but I don't think if you have a piece of chocolate, not gonna take you back to where you were, Amy. So that's fine. Everything in moderation. I'm never super restrictive, so a piece of chocolate is not gonna cause you any damage whatsoever. Yeah, go right ahead. Preferably dark chocolate though. So yeah. Anyways, I would just like to thank you guys for your time. Thank you for your patience. Also, don't forget to add us on Instagram and share our podcast at chitchatnatgy or WhatsApp 652-7811. And also don't forget, guys, if you are a sponsor or if you would like to promote your business free of cost, then do contact us. We will be happy to have you on our podcast to promote your business. You know, I love to support small businesses. Also, thank you guys so much again. And this is a wrap. And remember, be kind always.